And this first race, Mike, 6 out of 11 runners for that man, Chris Waller. Is it just a case of following Avdulla and Bowman in the first leg?
Yeah, mates of Waller have the edge in this race. Let's see if we can give punters the edge with the analysis that we do, starting off with the race conditions for the day on Saturday. Race 6, the first leg of the Quaddie over 2,000 metres of benchmark 84. Not much tempo in this race. Watch out for riding announcements from Waller runners. Some of them might go forward. Really dry, warm conditions in Sydney. It's the middle of summer, good 3. A fair bias, we hope, with the rail out 8 metres. If the track does firm up, it could be near pace, but we're going with fair. It's been so fair lately at Randwick. Across the 3 key factors to kick us off. Distance, the 2,000 metres has to be a key factor. Which of these horses like the extra distance? Position and run, because that steady tempo, which horses get the right spot? And scope, an evenly matched race. We're looking for horses on the rise.
Let's look at the 3 key factors. Let's jump into the market for this first leg of the Quaddie at Royal Randwick this weekend. And there is one of Waller's ex-imports, Zebek, at $4.20. On top with another Waller stay there too, Zorcan at $4.20. Why not throw in some more Waller love? Cars off $5.50, Vaucluse Bay $6.50. High opinion there, rounding out those under $10. But Mike, this looks like a Waller benefit-a-thon, this one.
Absolutely a Waller-a-thon, 6 of the 11. Listen to those riding announcements, watch those betting moves. Let's have a look at these replays and see if they help us at all. 1,800 metres at Randwick a couple of weeks ago. This may help us. Vaucluse Bay on pace this day. He went forward. Zorcan and Zebek, they may have been the best runs in the race, those two.
They may have. Let's have a look here at Vaucluse Bay. You said might have got away with a bit of on-pace bias this day. That's him in the yellow. Got to make our decisions there. Where are we looking here? We're looking at a couple of these in behind that might not just had a bit of luck.
Yeah, they didn't get the clearest running, Zorcan and Zebek. Zebek especially likes the extra distance, finds the line late. Hogmanay today didn't do very well at Gosford,
Good point.
Which Vaucluse Bay had a similar run to him. Maybe that's not as good a run as you think. If you look at the race guide, you'll see the video comment shows there was a vicious on-pace bias that day.
Zebek running off really nicely there, finishing off, I should say. Let's have a look at another Waller horse now. Cars off. This race, I mean, this is one of those runs. It and Mordar Platoon were out the back. They both swing the widest 2 runners here. Take us through this one.
Yeah, very similar setup in this race to what we meet on Saturday. 2,000 metres, dry track, steady tempo. You need a horse on Saturday that can come from a difficult spot, pick up, run some massive sectionals and finish off. Cars off from the 4 to the 200 metres. Ran 10.96, which is 1,200 metre time, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. He finishes off. Big run from the back.
Massive there from Karzov and edging away from Mordar Platoon there. What do you make though of Karzov's next start? What happened there?
Yeah,
Strange ride.
The profile says he can peak on his run. 2,100 metres, he laid in a bit. So we're going to forgive him back to 2,000.
Okay, forgive there for Karzov. Let's get stuck into the key factors now. We're going to start with the form, and then as the race progresses, knock in those key factors and come up with our winner. Let's get this race started, Mike. Who's got all the form? Looks like Karzov just in front.
Like we said, we're going to forgive that last start. The previous form, he was low flying. Karzov light him up. He gets the gold bar for us.
Karzov out with the jump. How about the first key factor, distance?
Yeah, a lot of them like the 2,000 metres, so not really that much of a key factor. Apart from Zorcan may not improve as much as others. He was ready to go first up and can race well over 1,600 metres. High opinion okay, but not as good as Karzov over 2,000.
So Karzov out in front as we look at position in run.
Yeah, most of them have some tricks in this race. It's not going to be an easy speed map. We're using this key factor just to show that Chatelard, Mordar Platoon, More Energy and Napoleon all get into a really tricky spot back in this race.
It looks as though the favourites all pretty well favoured there. How about Scope? Who's going to jump out of the ground?
He is primed for his first Australian win. Quebec, he's racing so well, Bowman on, improving every single start. Cars off, no extra scope for him. He just needs to hold his mark. Chatelard, so lightly raced, you've got to give him some scope in the profile, don't you?
Well, Scopes, I mean, that's been the telling factor there. Zebek and Karzov, they're the ones that are 2. They're clearing out here, so they're the 2 on top. Let's have a look now at the market here, Mike. It's time for a bet. These 2 have cleared out. We said at the start of the top of Dulla, we've got Bowman. Are they going to make all the difference? It could just well be that might be the difference here because Zorcan's not in the mix for us. It's Zebek, Karzov, $4.20, $5.50. They look like some pretty standout bets. Any roughies in this race? I'm looking down here. Royal Stamp, $34, only a couple of lengths behind. Take us through this one.
Yeah, she is the sneaky runner in the race. You look through her comments in the race guide. Not much luck the last 3 or 4 starts, apart from the race she won, obviously.
Yeah.
And the race she did win was a steady tempo, 1,900 metres at Newcastle. So she's primed for this race on Saturday. She did really well off her on-pace bias last start, so she's flying. Out of those top 2, Karzov and Quebec, what do? You go with the better odds. Karzov each way all day for us. And Royal Stamp inside barrier. She's the roughie. We think she'll firm on Saturday.
All about value here on key factors. So it's Karzov in the first leg and a nice roughie to potentially bring it home as well.